my Patreon in here. I'm waiting before it go live so I can share it. Okay, there it is. Copy link. Let's close that. Go back here to the Patreon. Boop. That's that, and then that's that, and then I post it again, and then they'll be right there because that's that. I think we can just do a cold open. It's talking about something completely random, and then we find a good spot, and we just, hey guys, welcome to What Do We Know? Type situation. I just made 3 hot dogs for breakfast.
Well,
and I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not excited about that decision. I woke up with it on my heart, and I was like, "This is what I want." Now, here's the thing: as I was making these hot dogs, I don't know if it was something on the handle or like the eye was up too hot, but like a strong weird smell started coming from like the hot dog area. It was like almost like damn near like sulfurish, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I thought it was the hot dogs. Um,
So what did it turn out to be though?
I don't know. It was like a white debris underneath the handle. Like, so maybe it did start heating up and the plastic started, you know what I'm saying, melting or something like that. But I still ate them hot dogs. I'm gonna be 100% with you. I should have because the smell was bad enough for me to be like, yo, this don't feel right. But I was like, kind of got to see it through. So
yeah.
So I ate 2 out of the 3. I didn't eat the whole 3-piece of the hot dog.
Why you make 3 hot dogs in the morning for breakfast though? I just want to understand why you did
that. Breakfast?
Yeah,
I mean,
breakfast.
Okay, so like when people be like, "Yo, I had a balanced breakfast," or they're part of a balanced breakfast, I always imagine it's at least like, 2 or more things, right? So if I just had,
No,
2
I already know what you about to say, bro. Don't say it. Go ahead, say it, but don't say it. Go ahead and say it. Because it's about to be so ignorant what you about to say. I already know. Go ahead.
You don't even know how I dress the hot dog though. You don't know how I dress it. The hot dog.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know where this is about to go. I'm gonna let you get there, but this is about to be crazy ignorant. All right.
It had bread.
I knew you.
Okay, with the bun. I put some condiments on there, but I'll say that for later. You finna judge me though. You finna judge.
I'm not gonna. I see. That's not the nature of our friendship.
Okay, so I put a piece
okay.
of
I should say I don't judge you on serious things. This.
Okay.
I might have to pass the judgment.
All right, so it's a hot dog. I took 1 piece of Kobe cheese. I folded it 3 times, right? So I could have one. I didn't need a whole slice. I just want like a little slither. Like it looked like a long piece of doublemint gum. Cheese that I used on the hot dog, right? And then I put some Kalamata olives on it. Cause I like olives more than I like. Well, I'm trying to see if I like olives on hot dogs because they give me that same tanginess.
No. Why are you trying to see if you like that? Why?
Because they give me the same tanginess as pickles, the same sourness as pickles.
Why not just throw a pickle on there, get some relish like a normal person?
I did that last night. I did. I got dill relish and I put pickles on it last night. I just want to try something out. Sometimes you don't know if something could be a hit and you don't know because you was too ashamed to try it out. I tried it out.
Yeah, but bro, you said it as if it was a thing. Like I just want to see if I like skydiving or something. It's not a thing.
Nothing is a thing until somebody does it. Everybody is strangers until you meet.
All right, Mr. Skydiving, olives on your hot dog. How did that go?
It was okay. I used deli mustard too. I used deli mustard instead of like.
Oh.
And so I put the olives underneath the hot dog. So like when I took a bite of it, you can't see it because the cheese is holding it down, but it's some olives. It's olives, right?
Yeah, I see. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
Yeah,
let me press this down.
nah, I got it. You ain't
Look,
even
look,
got to
look.
do
You see
that.
the olives?
You
Those
ain't.
are the olives.
I see the olives, bro. You ain't got to do that.
Why you acting like we didn't eat like this when we worked at a gas? We worked for those to give you guys a little context. How
I
about
didn't
this?
eat like that.
I'll introduce you. You introduce me. All
All
right.
right.
Let's try that.
Okay, go ahead. Let
Ladies
me
and
go ahead.
gentlemen.
Let me go ahead. Let me say something that so this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is Tahir Moore, one of my closest best friends, somebody who has introduced me to many things, including maybe most importantly, different forms of music that I really hadn't been listening to, like different artists that I had not been listening to. I met this young man through a friend of mine, or mutual friend of ours. And at the time, I was working and managing a Valvoline oil change shop, wearing that uniform, standing on the corner, waving, holding the sign that said 1999 oil changes, and trying to get BMWs to come in there. And they came too. And this brother was working at DirecTV. And through this connection between mutual friends, I was like, look, man, I'll hire you as my assistant manager right now. And the reason why he's automatically he was already qualified to do that is because I was unqualified to be the manager. So what do I know about qualifications to run an oil? So be careful when you go to one of these valves, you don't know who you're getting. But man, we had so much fun. The first time I ever heard, like, spending hours upon hours working together. You all know this if you've had a friend who you work with. In the days where that person is not there, that's the gloomiest, most difficult work days of your life when your friend ain't there. But yeah, man, music. I had never heard of World Star Hip Hop before, gentlemen. This
Don't
is
give me
crazy.
that one. Don't give me
This
that
brother,
accolade. Don't give me that
bruh,
one.
you would come in every morning, eat something ungodly, and sit down for 2 hours and watch. Mind you, there ain't no cars, there ain't no work to be done, apparently, because he would just come in and sit and eat and watch World Star for a little while. And my job was to sit and ridicule him from across the table while he did that. Ladies and gentlemen, to hear more, one of my closest friends, brilliant comedian, brilliant MC, just all around good guy.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction, ladies and
Well, I just
gentlemen.
tell the
Our
truth,
co-host is a published author. That is not a joke. That is a very serious thing. So it's a kind of a play on words with the what do we know, because he actually knows a lot. He's a published author. He is also a doctoral degree holder. He is Professor Michael Walker, and one of my closest and most intelligent, well-spoken friends. I
Oh, that's a setup.
often call on him for counsel because he gives me the best of both sides. He's going to give me the scientific, the analogical side of it, and because he's from South Central, he's also gonna sprinkle just a tad bit of nigga on it. I mean, not a lot. He gonna salt bay a little nigga on it, but he does it in a way that it is completely justifiable, understandable, and relatable. And it is through our many conversations. I am a person that does not like to talk on the phone, baby. I will make it known. But me and this man be on the phone for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I look up, don't even realize it. One time we had a conversation about a hypothetical situation of going to jail while I was actually working at a jail, and I spent my whole lunch hour talking about this. And it ended up being one of my jokes that I toured with. My first extra tour, I used that joke. It was great. But he has an amazing way of teaching and not making it feel like teaching, but as well as just being just a dope individual. So we decided to get together, and this has been a long time coming, people. I mean
Yeah,
a long time coming, and I know you're
indeed.
wondering what it is, and shit, we are too. You know, we thought about doing we thought about doing a male true crime show. Nobody's done a male true crime show. Then we thought about having people send letters in, and he would answer from the scientific standpoint. I would answer for Salt Bay nigga standpoint. And we were just like, you know what? Let's just get on here and let's just talk about life, the experiences, because we've had a lot. What he told you about us working at that Valvoline shop was not a lie. we worked. We've seen and done some things. We've been together when we've seen a lot of the interesting things that have transpired with me, like two ladies walking past me while I'm feeding the meter. Me and him about to go out. These ladies, three ladies walk past me, and one of them smelled good as hell. I was like, man, one of y'all smell good as hell. You know, just jokingly all over the place. And as they kept walking, because they did, I was like,
right.
Could have said thank you. And one of them just looks around and was like, she's deaf. And just kept walking. And I'm just, now how am I supposed to know?
This is the only, this is something that could have only happened to you. And by the way you told the story, you made it seem like you wasn't no big deal. Nah, man, we were behind them. You were ridiculing these ladies for several yards.
I was not.
We find out that
you're a liar. You're a liar.
Hurling insults and lambasting these women as they just walked about and trying to take care of their own business. That's what you was doing.
Why do you
only to find out that they couldn't hear you?
Well, first of all, it wasn't they. Only one of them was deaf. Okay, because I do.
Yeah, I don't know why the other one ignores you.
I do remember saying, I think it's the one in the center, right? And one of them turned around was like, she's deaf. I never thought about this before, because this happened. This had to be 2014.
Yeah, that'd be 10 years ago.
2010, maybe 2010.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they could have just been lying.
They could have been, because then wait, right around this time also, you had also clowned some woman for her painting or her drawing, and then didn't she turn out to be special needs? That
doesn't sound like something I would do at all.
Okay, so we're gonna lie on here. All right, cool. I didn't know. I just wanted to know.
When did I do that?
This happened right around the same time. I remember this because I remember laughing with you about this. Like, this would only happen to you.
Oh,
you clowns.
No.
Oh,
that's
you remember
not what happened. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what happened. This is when you bring up the stories, you make me sound like a horrible person.
I just tell the truth.
That's not what this is. That's not what we're doing.
I love you nonetheless. You my brother nonetheless. It don't mean that,
This was when I was talking to the ex-girlfriend, the one that had moved out there, got the job. You remember who we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened was we went to an art walk. We went to the downtown art walk, right? So downtown LA does this art walk. I think it's like every third Thursday, and they do over these span of blocks, and they turn all of these things into art galleries, and they open them to the public. People can go in. And so I go in one with, at the time, said girlfriend, and we're looking at this art, and this art was drawn on scratch paper that they would give you in math class. You know, that kind of grayscale, kind of shiny, smooth math paper. All the drawings on there. And I'm like, oh, this person is really taking it back to like the basics. Like, they don't want any distractions on it. But the drawings were very elementary. Like, it was very round faces, jagged faces. It wasn't smooth. It wasn't like art. It was very abstract. And I whispered to the girlfriend at the time, I was like, John's kind of looked like someone with Down syndrome. That's what I said. Okay. Not loud. I wasn't joking about it. I was just like all of them, because usually the artist may have a theme or something, but it's like all of these were just like different versions of the same picture. And we get to like kind of where, because I think the beginning might have been packed. So we just went straight in, circled back around, and then it showed the artist, this young lady.
Mm-hmm.
It was a young lady who had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And it was her art. I just want to say, if anything, you should be acknowledging and praising my art eye, because I caught that shit from a block away, not even knowing. I didn't say it jokingly. I was like, this seems like someone drew this. I called that shit. So if anything, you should be like, damn, bro, you should pick some lottery numbers or something.
Wow, you really gonna try to turn this into something positive for you. Hey, man, that's cool. At least now I know. At least now I know how you see it.
But also, we're not gonna dabble in the truth. That's what you're saying.
The truth is, you came up, you criticized negatively someone's art. They put their whole heart into it. Only to find out that you ain't had no business doing that.
I didn't criticize it. I gave my objectives. And my objective.
You gave your critical perspective, your opinion.
No. The art is subjective, just like comedy, baby.
But it was a diss. It was like you weren't even saying it like, hey, I wonder if this is an exhibit that's run by people with some type of mental disabilities. This is kind of beautiful. You was like, this look like
you're lying. You're lying. First of all,
you just told the story.
You weren't even there.
I'm going by what you said. I got it secondhand by the person who said it. So one of the hands, first and second, I got it some kind of way from you.
You know what? Let's just move into one of the topics for today. Because all you do is when we ain't got nothing to go on, you just gonna lie and mislead the people.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to understand the truth. Now I see where you at.
Making a horrible first impression. So
anyhow, one of the things I was sort of wanted to sort of bring up to you. I've been dealing with this.
Real quick. Yeah. Do you want to give them because we didn't really talk about this, but do you want to give them your qualifications for the layout of how we're going to present certain topics?
Okay. So I'm a professor I'm an associate professor of sociology here at the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities. I finished my PhD. Well, my BA is in economics. My master's and PhD are in sociology, all earned from the University of California, Riverside, in the hot-ass desert. My first job out of graduate school was at the University of Nebraska, which, if you're from LA, Nebraska is a tough place to live. If you're from Nebraska, I can understand. Yeah, I can see why people love it if you're from there. If you're from LA, Nebraska is just not the spot. And so the way I always describe it is I was rescued from the University of Nebraska to live here in the Twin Cities, which is just much nicer place. They're kind of like two small towns, St. Paul and Minneapolis, like put together, sort of masquerading as a big city, but it has a lot of the things that you would love for a big city. Most of my work, it's beautiful here. It's cold, so it kills all the bugs and spiders.
I just picture both cities in one trench coat, moonlighting like they one big city.
That's how it is. If you're not from here, that's how it feels. If you're from here, people from Minnesota, this would be like people who live in Inglewood saying Inglewood is way different from LA. But it's not. Like when you just ride down Florence, you just go from LA to Inglewood. It don't feel like anything special has happened. But here, people really feel as if you've crossed over into another dimension if you're from St. Paul or from Minneapolis. If you're not from here, these places are basically the same. Most of my work is in the area of punishment. So most of my publications are in the area of punishment, race relations, inequality, emotions, identities. So I have a sort of wide range of topics that I study. But the thing that I try to do more than anything else is to show that sociology is sort of, accessible by us all. All of us, to one degree, are social theorists. We're all coming up with little explanations for why we think a thing happened. We're all using sociology in one way or another, even if we don't have the terms for it. So this is my general perspective on just living my life in general, but also just my approach to research.
So he's gonna attach the science and the behavior and the theories to it. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But here's the thing: it ain't just gonna be my stories, guys, because he got some. He got some stories. I'm gonna let he glazed over a couple things in that history, like
here he goes,
and how he got to write his book.
Yes,
I'm sure it's gonna come out at some point.
Absolutely.
Isn't that right, Michael dear?
Yes,
Michael dear.
Yeah, it probably will. I just don't want to bog the discussion down. But at some point, yes, it'll sort of all come out. I guess in a rather organic way. We all have things that we've experienced and that we've done that we think are to some degree that we're less proud of. And of course I'm no different. But for me, fortunately, some of the biggest lemons that life gave me, I was able to turn into lemonade. So there aren't that many Black professors, period. There are even fewer Black male professors. And in my department, I'm the only Black male professor.
Damn, you hear that, lady? He's a cat.
So you know how it is, man. When you go somewhere, you're the only Black person. We're always the one of. Yeah, I mean, it's a tremendous amount of pressure to carry everywhere you go. So,
yeah, when I was a teacher, seventh grade, when I was teaching the seventh grade, when I was working at that middle school, I think it might have been only 3 of us.
Yeah,
and one of the guys was administration. So, shit, I could completely get it.
Yeah,
But it was all
absolutely.
black people. It was just black women. They was everywhere though.
Oh yeah, that's not what I got out here. Not at all. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it's also spend the summer. So
yeah, and
I feel like when you did that, that was a true test of our friendship because I was like, "Nigga, I ain't never coming no motherfucker."
You've come out here. You've done a show here.
Yeah. We did that one show in Nebraska.
Yeah,
right. Where the guy proposed to his lady, and it was
right.
like,
but you've done a show here at the Mall of America. I saw you there.
Yeah. They got that Radisson Blue right there.
Yeah, they do. It's real nice. And
it's a nice hotel because Radissons are typically known to have their doors lead straight to outside. So that was a good step up.
I ain't never stayed in a Radisson, but I know that particular one is really nice. So
yeah, that one is nice. If it's a Radisson Blue, it's okay. It's all right with me, and it's all right with you. If somebody try to put us in a Radisson, just a Radisson.
They got other colors, though. They got the Radisson Red. I'm assuming now, based on what you just said, that you stayed in a bunch of ratty hotels. So have you stayed in the Radisson Red?
I have not stayed in the Radisson Red. Okay. And they actually don't call it a Radisson Red. I think they just call it Radisson. That's just the basic level. That's the entry level one.
Okay. I didn't know that was the base model, but all right, cool.
Yeah, it's that's definitely a base model. Anyway, one of the things we wanted to do was kind of help people of all walks of life kind of just have difficult conversations. So we had wrote down a couple topics that we're going to start with until we figure out, a clearer direction we want to take with this. But we wrote down some stuff that we think that comes up in general conversation and how to get around those type of things. So did you want to start with one, or you want me to?
I'm gonna start with one that was on my heart recently because I was talking to this very friend. So let me just tell you. So when I was an undergrad, I was for real hungry. Like I ain't have no money, no food, no nothing hungry. Like saving my beef and chicken packages from the ramen hungry. And at some point, I didn't have enough money to pay my rent, pay my light bill, and pay child support. I couldn't pay all three. So I was like, and I can't eat at the same time. You got your hand raised. Here you go.
What were you saving it for?
Bro, I would go to somebody. This is G14 classified, so y'all better not tell nobody this. So I used to go to homegirls' houses, like their apartments, because they would oftentimes be cooking and eat. I could eat there. When I wasn't doing that, sometimes other people would be eating ramen around me because we're all in undergrad. And some people just chose, they like different flavors. And whatever flavor they weren't eating, I would save it. And then later on, when I didn't have money for anything beyond salt and pepper, we all have salt and pepper. But if I didn't have Lowry's or anything else, beef packaging, boy, sprinkle it on you, man. So I sprinkle my chicken. I season my chicken. I got it. If you buy one of the $5 pizzas from Little Caesar, and you throw some of that beef on there, yes, sir.
It's quite possibly the poorest shit I've ever heard in my life. I never heard of a nigga chicken with some chicken seasoning from Top Robin. That chicken is caught in a loop. It can't get away from itself.
If you cook the chicken in a moist way, the moisture helps, unlock the flavor in the seasoning. It's good. It's not good now. Like I wouldn't do that now. I don't think. But
don't try to make that shit okay, my boy. This nigga was cooking. He was cooking chicken, listening to Wendy. That's some savage shit, boy.
So I didn't have no money. I didn't have no money. In this particular month, it was a really rough month where I didn't have any money to do really anything. And I was a single father. So, I could live off Fruity Pebbles and whatever else, but my son couldn't. So I remember I had a friend, and I was just talking to him about it, right? And so he didn't come out. I don't remember if I asked him directly or he offered. He ain't the kind of friend to offer nothing. So I must have asked him. And I was like, look, man, I need to borrow like $500. I'm trying to raise $500. I think that's how I said I'm trying to raise it. Nobody come out and just ask for money. Like, yo, I'm trying to raise this amount of money like we at church or something. So I was like, for the rent fund, for the building fund. So I tell him, I was like, I need to borrow $500. I'm trying to raise it. So he's like, he pauses for a second. He on the phone. He pauses for a second. He says, okay, but I'm gonna drop a contract telling. Now this is one of my closest friends. I'm gonna drop a contract. It's gonna tell you when the money needs to be paid back. How long do you need? I tell him, I was like, oh man, I need just a few months. Just a few months can mean 2 months, could mean 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I just need a few months. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna drop a contract, and I want you to pay me back the $500. I was like, I'll pay you back more. He's like, nope, just pay me back the $500. So in the meantime, he and I had a falling out. So he let me borrow the $500. He sent me a contract. I had to sign it, scan it, and send it back to him via email. This is my friend, mind you, right? So we've been friends. I think at this point we had been friends for like 7-8 years, something like that. Like sign a contract. And so, and for people who know him, know this is exactly who he is. So I can't be mad at him. I ain't mad at him, right? Like, but because he's lending me the money. So in the meantime, we have a falling out about something totally different. So I owe him the $500. So a couple of months go by, a few more months go by, a couple of years go by, and then pretty soon, like we're finally getting to the point where we can talk again. Now I have enough money to pay him back the $500.
Right.
But we have to first reestablish the friendship. I can't just come out the gate and be like, yo, here go the $500.
You could.
I could have
did that.
Well,
we could have did that.
How do you think that would have gone though? Like, cause to me, my thought was, if I had just jumped out the gate and be like, yo, I owe you $500, here it is. Maybe that would have went well, but I kind of thought it would have felt like we haven't even fixed what the issue is yet. Like, let's address this. I didn't want to seem like I was paying him off. Like, here go your money, motherfucker. I don't want to deal with you no more. I didn't want it to be like that.
And it definitely could have came off like that, but I just feel like from the other side, he definitely was like, and then this motherfucker still owes me $500 from 2008. He
probably was. He probably was.
And still owe me the money.
I hope he didn't. Look at
because I didn't hear it come in. I saw it on the screen.
I know. I saw you look. I saw actual fear.
I couldn't get to the gun quick enough. I would have been dead.
I'm just watching it happen too. Like, damn, we really finna see him get robbed on live. That's crazy. But so he and I, we have a conversation, and we decide to. Now here's kind of what was important here. The thing that made the conversation. Like, so borrowing the money was difficult. The thing that when I look back on it, I remember being angry with him and being frustrated with him because it's like, dude, why would you make me sign a contract and go through all this rigmarole? But he was saying, he's like, your word. I remember him saying to me, he's like, your word is important. So if you're gonna do this, then you have to do this. And I remember thinking, like, motherfucker, like, this is what kind of bullshit is this? Like, we friends, but you know what I mean? But he was trying to. I guess he had lent money to people in the past. I have no idea. Maybe he has. Maybe he hadn't. I don't know. But I know that. When you listen to the actual meaning of the words that he's saying, like, I want you to stick by your word here, I can't really be mad at him. I couldn't be upset with him at all. And when I gave him the money back, it was like after we had reestablished our friendship, and I just told him, like, hey, I haven't forgotten. I don't want, you never forget. Don't let nobody lie to you. No one ever forgets when they owe you money.
And I never forget either.
Yeah, me neither.
I never forget who I lived.
Listen. One of my colleagues owes me $68. She didn't owe me $68 for 4 years. Do you know I don't even fuck with her because of that? She know who she is. I don't even fuck with her because she owed me $68.
It's the principalities, my boy. It's the principalities. Me and my mom, they talked for 2 years over $40.
4 years. $68.
You knew about that. You knew about the $40 that my mom owed me when we talked for 2 years.
Absolutely. So the way the conversation went, and I think that was so beautiful when we started to reconcile, was we both focused on where do we want to be in the end. We didn't focus on how do I feel about how we got here. Because I think if we had this, and I think there's room for that, but I think if you have a conversation in which you're trying to relitigate how we got here, right? You end up like miring yourself in the muck of the history. And it's very easy to get off track. But what he and I did, I was like, look, man, I know I owe you this money. Even the conversation that we had to reconcile was just like very like, hey, man, just want to let you know, I miss you. I miss your friendship. He was like, yeah, I really
Wait. You told him you miss him? Here's the thing. You know, I'm not coming at it from that angle. Even if it was just me and you, I wouldn't be. I'm coming at it from the angle of a jealous best friend. Like you miss this nigga? That's crazy. I thought I knew all the friends you miss. Who the fuck is this new nigga? Who the fuck is this new nigga that's pinned to the top of your conversations in the text, nigga?
I should have known you was gonna get your feelings, baby girl. Don't worry about it. You my love.
I said you can have friends, but you out here telling niggas that you really fuck with them like that. Like you ain't got no bestie already. Hey,
don't even worry about it. Your spot is secure. Don't you worry about it. I was just hitting them chicks. I'm gonna get right back. Don't even worry about it.
Where you at, Michael? Where the nigga at that you be telling?
And the funny thing is, that's a real thing too, because I heard you talking about one of your best friends and one of your stand-ups, and I was like, this motherfucker here, I should text him. It's some bullshit. How you gonna be out here talking about his best friends? Who the fuck he got that's better than me? Like I thought that in my heart. I didn't say nothing to you. I was like, we may have to have a real conversation about this later on, but at least now we know.
It's gonna be quiet for a ride home.
I was steaming with jealousy. Oh man, I couldn't. I can't even tell you what the stand-up was, because I was thinking the whole time, like, who the fuck is his best friend? Who he got better than me? Like, this is some bullshit. I was like, if I was more famous, then he wouldn't be able to say this shit. He would have to acknowledge me. But I didn't do all that though. I was thinking it. But anyways, the conversation went well because we focused on where do we want to be in the end. And at the end, we wanted to reconcile our friendship and get back to being cool. So when I sent him the $500, it was nothing. He was like, hey man, I really appreciate this. And he didn't rub my nose in it. He didn't try to slap me when I was down. He didn't try to shame me. His focus was on literally just rebuilding the friendship. And I think that goes a long way. It's an instructive for thinking about how to reconcile friendships and just how to reconcile relationships in general. Because it's real easy to want to slip into, let me tell you why you so fucked up, and let me tell you where you got me fucked up. And then that shaming ritual becomes a problem for somebody. You know, you try to make somebody feel shameful about what they did or didn't do. Yeah. You're gonna have a hard time.
That's men or women. That's just
absolutely
across the board.
Across the board, yeah.
Nobody likes to be talked to like that. So
yeah, absolutely. Right. Especially if you like, I know I owed this man some money, and we never, by the way, we never even discussed why we had beef. He actually said to me, he's like, I thought you stopped talking to me because you owed me money. I was like, nah, that ain't had nothing to do with it at all. But I didn't bother to go into it because I just felt like there was nothing left to really sort of fix on this issue. So I was like, nah, that just wasn't it at all. And we both moved on. But it takes two people who want to do that, right? Like if one of us wants to move on and the other one doesn't, then the reconciliation ain't gonna happen, right? So you have to have two hearts that are kind of open to that.
That's a good point, man. Yeah, and you have to be in a place where you're mature enough to actually have that conversation. I've definitely been in places where I was like, nah, fuck this nigga. I actually with what we did, we went live this past week, and we were talking about the whole cat situation. Yeah, and Clint was on there, and I made mention of how me and Clint fell out like really tough, really bad, like, and you know, I also made mention that he had a couple family members that passed away while we weren't talking, and I did not reach out. He did not reach out because both of us knew we still weren't in a place, mature wise, and to really overlook that current situation to address the deeper problem. So we just let it happen organically, and it happened the way it was supposed to. Because if we would have rushed that the way we fell out, it would have been no coming back for it. It wouldn't have been a third try. So,
I agree. I wonder, people always say that this is an issue of maturity. And I've heard you say maturity twice. I don't know that it is. I'm not telling you this. This is not me saying this is or is not a thing. I'm just offering you my opinion here. I don't know that it's an issue of maturity as much as it is, some hurts take time to sort of, you got to work through something on your own a little bit, right? And if you want to be open to reconciling somebody, you've got to be in a place where it doesn't hurt quite as much. Right. Enough to, and you also at the same time have to value what this person once brought to your life and what they could potentially bring to your life again. So if you're not open to even receiving that, anything they say, you're not even, ain't no point, no point you sort of talking to this person because they're not going to be able to reach you. I think over the years, I'm just thinking about family members I've had beef with, people who friendships that I just threw away because I was like, I don't give a fuck how you feel, bro. I'm off you now. Some of those I fixed, some of those I didn't. Some of the ones I didn't, I don't even really miss, to be honest with you. But that was an evaluation of the friendship. I was like, I'm not getting anything out of this where I feel like I missed this person. So
that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. Like, how do you address outgrowing someone in a friendship or in a relationship? Because it happens, right? Like you even without the falling out, like from the hanging out, the shit that they want to do. But like I'm still not a big club person. Never have been a big club person. It's just not my. I like some lounges, I like some bars. You know what I mean? But and even now that I'm not drinking, the lounges and the bars aren't as enticing. And that's not to say that the drinking was the only reason I was going there, but it was part of the experience. And I feel silly buying a Heineken Zero. It's like I'm buying
that's a thing that exists.
Crack. This is legal crack. What I'm buying, and this just feels silly to spend $7 on something that doesn't even do what it's naturally intended to do.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Heineken Zero.
Yep.
Okay.
Zero is no alcohol, zero alcohol, baby.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not. I guess I don't really drink that often. But if I was going to drink, it should have the alcohol. Like I don't like the way Heineken just tastes. That don't make no sense to me. But I think so. There's an entire field of research around the nature of relationships, and so one way to think about this is a kind of exchange. So in a social exchange perspective, the argument is people need to feel as if they have when they interact with one another. So if I'm talking with you, if when I'm talking to you, I feel good about myself, or I feel like I gained something from the conversation, even if the gaining that I got was just like a good feeling, like, oh man, it was really cool to talk to him. Or if it's important to me to be a Black man, and when I'm talking to you, you talk to me and sort of validate the fact that I'm a Black man. So if I'm talking to you and I keep calling you Barbara instead of Tahir, maybe the first time you let it go, maybe the second time you start to be like, my name's Tahir, right? But if I keep calling you Tahir, pretty soon we can't even have a conversation. I mean, if I keep calling you Barbara, pretty soon we can't have a conversation because I won't even validate how you understand yourself. I won't even call you by your name. And so like the entire exchange, the relationship, the whole thing just falls apart because I'm not verifying how you understand yourself. When you're
I need you to actually start calling me that nigga when we talk.
I ain't gonna tell you what I got you saved in my phone as, but it ain't nothing good. It ain't to hear more.
Hey, listen. You can talk about that if you want to, but just know I got the picture.
Oh, here we go. You know what? I ain't got nothing to say. You right.
I got the context.
Right. You right. I ain't got nothing. First of all, how you go blackmail me on live? That's the part that's crazy to me. This is blackmail. Bruh.
I don't want nothing from you.
The level of
nothing from you, black man.
I know you just want to burn. I don't want to see the world burn. You the Joker. You the Joker. You just want to see the world burn. That's who you are.
It do feel good when you lean out the car window. The air just hitting your face.
The level of ain't shittery right now, man.
I'm packed full of it, baby. I'm
man, tell me something I don't know. But so when these relationships fail, part of what has happened is there's a buildup of what we might call like these negative interactions where I keep talking to you or having an interaction with you in which I leave it and I feel worse about myself. You'll see this in romantic relationships. Somebody's like, I keep giving, and this motherfucker won't give nothing back. He won't be there for me, or she won't do this for me, even though I keep doing all those things. And so even though we say, yeah, I want to love wholly, the fact is love really isn't free. Friendship isn't really free. We expect something in return. And when we're not getting it, we may not tell you directly, I expect these things. You'll meet somebody, you may have dated somebody in the past who's told you, like, I expect you to text me every morning, good morning, queen, whatever else, or some other wild shit like that. buy her some stones and whatever else that she's kind of into. You might have met somebody like that.
Wait, did you say buy her some stones, like some energy stones? Did you just text her good morning, queen, buy her some stones, hand roll her some incense? What you got against natural women, Mike? What
I'm just saying, if that's her telling you expressly this is what she wants, wants that in exchange. She's like, I'm gonna do something for you, right? I'm gonna let you play whatever you do. You play 2K or whatever it is you do with your spare time. I'm gonna let you do that, but I expect this. And when you don't do it, then the relationship itself falls apart. So it's no different. So part of repairing that is reminding yourself what this other person said that they needed, what they said they wanted, and then also expressing what you need and what you want. Most of the time, we don't do this like in this kind of like overt way where I just tell you what I want. We find out by doing things wrong.
Yeah, you just meet somebody and y'all like, all right, this is what I like, this is what I like, and you be like, hey, listen, let me tell you what I need, not just what I like. Okay, you come over this motherfucker, your legs always gotta be shaved. I need always to be shaved. Okay, I need you smelling like this, this, and this.
Hey, I've had that conversation.
I have too. It's not an easy conversation.
So okay, so how did you tell somebody? How'd you tell a woman? Because I don't leave it out there as somebody who knows. You hear about later on, people be asking you about the men you dated. Yeah. But how you tell this woman to shave her legs before she come see you?
You know what? For me, it wasn't even the legs. I had to have a more difficult conversation with someone. I remember, and it was just about their their scent.
How do you tell a woman that she stank?
And well, see, it's always a way to say and do something.
It's not like I can't wait to hear this.
It is.
And I can't wait to hear this.
First of all, I'm never leading with that energy like, oh shit, bitch, what's going on? If it's somebody that I'm fucking with on a level, you know what I mean? Like somebody that I've actually showed and expressed interest in their well-being and our well-being and longevity. So it was that type of situation. It wasn't just somebody that just came over and got the old diggity and then got the fuck up out of here. If it was somebody just collecting the old diggity, I would have just lit multiple candles. I would just be like, you know what I mean? I would just did that. But with it being somebody that we both expressed interest in each other, it was a conversation of very simple, like, hey, I need to ask you a personal question. I want you to know it's not coming from a place of malice, it's genuine curiosity. And I was like, has your smell changed? Like, and if it has, is it because of your diet or is it because of something else? And she was like, it has. She's like, it does change when I'm closer in my cycle. It's not something that I really bring up because it's been with me for all of these years. I was like, okay, I just noticed it because I know, I've smelled, we've had this before and there was not this. And then today there was like a new person, like, hey, and I was like, who is this? Who is this nigga? Who's this nigga waving at my nose?
Did you just personify the smell like he in there like, hey?
I think he was in the bedroom like he was waiting.
You are ignorant as hell. We had this. We never had this before. Who's this?
Oh, who's this nigga? But no, the way we had the conversation, it was actually very it was very cool. Because I really did come from like the place, oh, this is different. I noticed this. Did something happen? Because I know diet, like, I know people who switched to a keto diet and it changed their pH because all they're eating is protein. So I was just trying to go at it from that standpoint, like, did something change or something like that?
How long had you been seeing this woman? Because I feels like that's going to be important here. Like, what level of trust did you already have established?
We was probably going hip to hip for about 7-8 months. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, hip to hip for hip to hip. That's how you describe it. I said, how long you been seeing this woman? You said we've been going hip to hip. All
We
right.
had
Hey,
been
listen,
going
if you
hip
ain't got no problem with it, neither do I. you good? You good with the way you describing this?
because
So am I.
it was a dating thing, but it wasn't a serious dating thing. But
Okay.
it was serious enough to like we knew it was mutual respect and it was caring and was feelings out there. But it wasn't like I wasn't acting to like did not like to lock her down and vice versa. But she might have been. She might have wanted more. So but like that's not what I was giving. So
okay,
it's
wow.
giving hip to hip.
This is one of the few things I always say, man. It'd be funny to be a gay man because they feel like they're allowed to just say whatever black women say.
Oh, nigga, listen. Gay men get all the sayings
They
that
got
black women
freedom,
do,
boy.
and they also get all the dances. They get
Yeah.
all the
I'm stuck in this heterosexual body not being allowed to do this shit. I can't, so what if I want to be like that? I can't. Okay, that ain't never happened. I ain't never wanted to like it. I was just talking about a saying. I was talking about it.
I'm in the studio playing with my pussy, bitch. That's Lotto.
That's freedom, though.
I'm an acting brand new.
Oh man, that's a freedom. That's a freedom I want, even if I can't, even if I don't exercise.
Women got way funner dances, bro.
They do way better sayings. Like it's giving is such a perfect phrase to be able to have. I don't have nothing like that as a heterosexual black. There's nothing like that for us. What do we get to say? I feel I feel this, or I feel that, or like it seems like that's way too much.
Women got all the popular cool sayings. First of all, have several seats.
Several seats.
Have several seats.
Even being able to do this, like just to be like,
right. What's another good one that they say? Don't come for me if I ain't sent for you.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, another thing that you feel like you should be allowed to say, but you just can't. Yeah, I feel like, once men one day finally get free, I'd like to be able to say that. It probably won't even be cool no more to be able to say it by the time I can say it. So,
and you tall too.
I know that's the problem.
You're tall as you good. You 6'2", 6'3"?
6'4". Keep going.
6'4". And you going back and forth with another nigga, be like, first of all, don't come for me if I ain't sent for you.
I just want to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in the studio playing with my pussy.
That part. I just want to be able to do that. I just want to tell somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's giving bum. You know what I'm saying? Or it's giving trash. I want to be able to say what something is giving. Because I see giving stuff all the time, but I don't have the freedom.
I see shit giving stuff all the time. All the healthy men talking to all the niggas that ain't with the therapy, like it's giving emotional availability, unavailability. Nigga, do you even have a therapist, bro?
Yes. I want to be able to say, one of my Bitmojis will let me say yes. I have sent this shit to my daughter.
You sent it to me.
Hey man,
you sent this to me.
If I'm snitching on myself, that's one thing. You don't get to help me snitch on me. But I want to be able to just say that every now and again. Here you go looking. You better not be looking through your phone for the time. You ain't the level of ain't shitness if you are currently looking through your phone. Oh man, I need new friends. You know what? You're right. That other dude you was talking about, that is your best friend. That is whoever that was earlier, that comedian. That's your best friend. And I hope you don't find that.
Don't do that.
I need to delete this whole chat. Can I delete it on your side too? I can't do that, huh?
Why would you want to do that, man? We just having a good time, baby.
Yeah, we was having a good time. I've handled those situations in two different ways. I once was with a woman who was so every woman has her own smell. I'm okay with that. I don't have an issue. I like the way it smells. I enjoy that. But that don't mean that everybody's smell is quite the same, right? It doesn't mean everybody's smell is like, the one you want to smell.
Right.
And I remember like being this woman and just thinking like, man, you know, this ain't for me.
Yeah, we're hip to hip.
Yeah, we was hip to hip. Yeah, we wasn't no months. So this was 3 times.
Got it.
And I didn't do what you did, man. I didn't sit down and have a conversation and try to turn it into something, you know. I didn't try to fix it. And somebody might say I didn't handle it in a mature way. I just went on ahead and got ghosted. And now I know people
It's
may feel away about it. It's giving Casper, buddy, because I was out of there. I couldn't tell her.
Ladies, I just want to let you know that just shows you degree, doctoral, it don't matter. A nigga's still a nigga. Okay?
It was too hard to come tell her.
But how do we even do that? Like, I would love to get some feedback from the ladies. Like, I would love to get feedback from the ladies on what is the proper way to do that. Is there a proper way to do it? Did you do it the proper way? Because if you don't see a future with her, if it's just a physical thing for you, and that wasn't to your liking for the physical relationship to continue, is there even a need for explanation? Is there a need to communicate why you are not continuing that type of relationship, or why you are no longer interested? So
no. I think if we had been seeing each other longer, I liked her as a person. She was cool as a person. But here's my general perspective on ghosting, because I know people have different feelings, and you know, I'm interested in other people's perspective. I'm not saying that mine is set in stone, but right now my feeling is, you know, when you have a relationship with somebody and part of what happens is you become responsible for their feelings. So if you tell me something personal about your life, you're not just telling me for nothing. Like, you expect that later on I'll remember that and then use that when I'm interacting with you. So if I tell you, you know, my grandmother passed, and you know that my grandmother is very important to me, you know, you don't be making jokes about my grandmother unless you know that's the way that I talk about her. So, but if you and I don't have anything, we got 3 dates, and we didn't have sex 3 times, and we don't have much else. I don't have a connection in a way that I don't owe you anything. And more importantly, you don't owe me anything. If you stop talking to me, I'm not the guy who calls you and texts you, bitch, where the hell you at? I can't believe you, you know, how dare you do this to me? That's not who I am. My perspective is, you don't owe me anything. So if you stop talking to me, it is what it is. It's only the longer we date that we build up commitment, because we have a history. And now we've got to honor the history a little bit. We got to at least be able to address. Now, I will say, and I wonder what your thoughts are.
Michelle had a question too. Before we get away from it, I just want to make sure.
No, it was bad. It was Michelle, it was bad. It wasn't just good. It was bad. It was bad.
And ladies, let me say this because I know my boy Keenan just posted a video about I don't know who it was. It was a cartoon character, and he was doing like this. And the question was like, fellas, have you ever smashed a chick and had to hit her with that, or smash her like this? It's not just us, because I went to the comments. A lot of chicks was like, these niggas is nasty. That's why niggas is nasty and all of this type of stuff. I know a lot of homies that'll leave 24-hour fitness after running full court basketball for the last 6 hours, and they say, I'm gonna go with this little shawty. I'm gonna give me that old brainy dang, that top of that slap of that top of that quarterback. I will give it an old diggity. And these niggas go over there and won't take a shower, and y'all just take that all day dick too. Okay, so I just want to let you know it's trifling on both sides of the fence.
I blame
both sides of the fence got a little trifling too, because I'm always considering that if I took more than 3 steps outside, okay, like 1, 2, 3, okay, before I get this diggity to city body, okay, I gotta go wash off the freckle peen, okay.
Just go. No, he didn't call it that. We moving on. I'm not highlighting what you just.
I gotta go wash off this constellation dick. It's got a lot of stars on it. It's a speckle. All right. I'm not giving no constellation dick to nobody.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess it is skin. I just didn't even know that was a thing. I'm mad that now that I know. I didn't want to know this, and I didn't want to know this about you. Nobody asked for this information.
You're a scholar.
Nobody.
You're a scholar. You're always learning.
I have my field. This, what you just said, out my field here, you over here, outside of my field here. I don't even ask about nothing that's going on over here. This is crazy. Oh man, Michelle, you ain't got nothing to say about that. You gonna let that ride?
Good Michelle grief. Been here. She a real one. She been part of the mob. She know what's going on.
Wait, is this common knowledge? Everybody just noticed about you?
What, the speckled dick? Look, Nicky put this that's the constellation dick. Constellation eggplant.
Why you got names for it? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Time, man. A lot of free time.
So I don't know what the right way is to tell somebody that, but I feel like if we haven't been together for a while, we don't really owe each other an explanation for why this isn't going to work. It could have been anything. Mm-hmm. So on the other hand, I had somebody who I was seeing and enjoyed this woman's company, and I was trying to find a way. First, I just complained to myself and to my friends about these hairs, but then I got to the point where, but then I got to the point where I was like, I can't. I'm not okay with these hairs. I'm not okay with these particular hairs.
Somebody just sent me something on my phone. They stupid. Go to my bad, bro. Go ahead.
So I plotted on how to have the conversation. Now, remember, I told you all that the way we think of relationships are kind of exchange. And the first thing that I wanted to do was validate her feelings and who she is before I said anything. So I start off by telling her, the good news too is that she asked me if I wanted anything. She's like, do you think, because we had been having open conversations. So I had already established a level of trust. We made an arrangement about what we're going to do. I asked her immediately, well, hey, how do you orgasm? What do you like? What don't you like? We had these kind of like flat and open conversations. So establishes that I care about her. Mm-hmm. Then when she asked me, hey, what do you want? Is there's anything that I'm doing that you don't like? So I just told her, I was like, well, first, let me just tell you, everything you do in general, I just like. I'm feeling you, right? Smart. Even if that's not true. Yeah. Even if that's not true, that's what you say. And it was true. I was enjoying everything she was doing.
That just helps soften this devastating.
Soften the blow, right?
Deliver over the shoulder. High over the shoulder, right hook to the temple.
In which I told her, like, look, you're going to have to do something about these hairs that are growing in places that I don't expect hairs to be growing on women. I just want you to pluck them. So, and she said, I wondered what you thought about those hairs.
So she was aware.
She was aware, yeah. Now, this particular woman had somebody else, and I assumed that somebody else just didn't care about the hair. I was just an extra in the situation. So I assume he and me, we have very different standards, which is fine. But the fact that she was willing to listen to me, I think had a lot to do with, I can see your mind work is here. I can see your mind work.
I'm blowing my nose.
Somebody texted you something. I got it. Yeah. I just felt like the way that I handled it was the right way, in part because we had already established that I care about her. I care about her feelings. I validated who she is first, and then told her what I wanted. And I waited until she asked me. Now, how would I have handled that if she didn't ask me? Bro, to be honest with you, I was thinking about just stopping.
Oh,
I don't know if that's what I would have done, but I was thinking about like stopping, or at least stopping some of the activities that I was doing in there, which I thought would have been a signal to her, like, okay, why is he not doing this? And then maybe she would broach the subject. Mm-hmm. So I try to force the conversation on her. But no matter what, I wanted her to feel whole after the conversation. I still didn't want her to feel beat down or shamed or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, that was definitely the right way to do it. I am not that mature. I would have tied it to a lasso to the bedpost and tossed off the bed.
I believe you would have too, which is the crazy part. I absolutely believe you would do that. Do it just like that too. Oh man, I thought about that. I had straps, so I'm like, I could probably just. But it ain't sexy to turn the sex straps into like, all right, now let me shave this part let me pluck these hairs that I don't like so much.
Yeah, you turn it into a spa shop if you do that. Well, listen, man.
I mean, we'll work for tips. So
out of context, that's wild as hell.
Well, yeah, out of context, right? But in the context, but in
Where
the
the
context,
niggas with the tippies?
But we need to free men from their own masculinity. Let us be able to have, like, black women. Just let us borrow some of these sayings for a little while. That's all I'm saying. I don't even want to have it all the time. I just want to be able to, like, give me like a minimum amount of times or maximum amount of times I'm able to say it's given. Yeah. So, like, the next time y'all have a black women meeting, you discuss it, be like, yo, man, Michael Walker, he's allowed to say it 6 times this year.
You say it, and they be like, let me see your card so I can mark it off.
They punch the card, right? That's all I'm saying. Give me, give me some freedom here. So I promise not to abuse it.
All right, y'all. Well, listen, we about to get ready to get about here. This was actually supposed to be 30 minutes. We end up talking for the full hour. So we're going to leave this up here. I would love to hear you guys' opinions, suggestions, all those type of things. We're going to take that into consideration. We're still trying to decide if we want to make it a 30-minute program or an hour program. As I was telling Mike, I was like, bro, once we start talking, we're going to go off on tangents. It's going to naturally be funny. It's going to naturally take its own legs. He had 6 or 7 topics. I had 5 or 6. I think 6 or 7 topics as well. And I knew we were only going to get through a maximum of 3. And we really got the one that just kind of splintered off into different areas.
Right.
But again, we're still crafting this. That's why I'm giving it to you guys and you guys only until we figure out what we want to do with it. Would love to hear again, honestly, guys, the things you like, the things you don't like. Do you like how
absolutely
Michael blends the science and the theory into the behavior? Because that's what we want to do. We want to make it infotainment. We don't want it to just be 2 guys up here with a podcast talking more crazy stories. We want to actually add some relevance in science and teachings to it. So would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts on it, and if you enjoyed it. If not, I saw the numbers. We stayed between like 27 and 22 most of the show. We just got down to 18. So for us, that's a good show for our live.
Yeah.
Y'all, especially if I just posted this right before we went live. I posted it 30 minutes before we went live, and 27 people showed up. So that makes me feel good about it. So we'd love to have you. Those that pulled up and stayed to the end, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all, and we'll talk to y'all soon, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Stay tuned. You feel me?